Good afternoon. We're coming to you live from the McDonald Family Pool at Bellarmine College Preparatory here for the 2019 Spirit Week Belly Flop Contest. This is one of our favorite events of the year and a student favorite. We've already gotten underway. First jump appears to be by Chuck Pellerin.
So in this competition, what are you looking for here today?
I'm looking for commitment. You know, the thing, even in recent memory and in years past, is a lack of anybody who's really willing to fully commit and fully put their body on the line.
That was exactly the phraseology that I was looking for.
Put
the
their
guy
body
who
on the
puts
line.
the body on the line. A few years back, there was a guy who actually had blood vessels bursting on his belly, right? You can see it right below the skin. That's the commitment that I'm looking for today. I'm also looking for a guy with a lot of mass. I'm looking for a guy with a lot of mass who puts the body on the line, right? That's what we're going for.
So here's the thing. I'm also will admit that I enjoy a pretty thin guy who's willing to let us hear it. You know, when you can really hear it.
That's true. And this is an entertainment thing. See, we're looking for a guy who can get the crowd on his side. Right? That's huge.
You really like the mob rule element of this.
It's true.
So do we know this guy's name?
Wow. Okay.
I think that's exactly what we were describing.
So a lot of commitment there. Guy had some mass on him. He went a little bit overboard with the leaning forward, got more chest than belly. This is a belly flop, so I need people leaning back and really letting it fly with the belly. That's what I'm going for today.
So let's talk about our judge panel here. We have Mrs. Slater.
We have Mrs. Zabinski, great teacher. Learned a lot in that class, algebra, or excuse me, calculus. I'm not sure who the man third from the left is, but we got Coach Michelle Toy there on the right. So this is the skinnier guy that we're looking for, right?
Exactly what I was looking for, right?
You know, I think that he actually didn't get the jump that he wanted, but it worked out perfectly. He landed right on his belly, perfect commitment. Right, he was leaning back a little bit, didn't lean on his chest, leaned right on the belly.
We have a 9, an 8.5, an 8, and a 9 from the judges.
So still early in the day, they're leaving some room so they can rank it higher than that. But that was a pretty solid flop right there.
Yeah, you know, that's true. There's nowhere you could go past 10 once you assign a 10.
It's true. So this is Ryan O'Donnell.
I don't know about, as much as I believe that he should move on to the next round on that last jump, I don't know if the form was quite right. This is Ryan O'Donnell Sr., his 4th year appearing in the belly flop contest. Now let's see if he's willing to commit.
He doesn't seem like the guy to put the body on the line. And I was wrong.
He broke a little bit at the end, if I noticed, with the knee bend. Let's see what the judges have to say. We did get an ooh from the crowd. An 8, an 8, an 8, and an 8.5 from Coach Toy.
See, they ranked that too close to the last one. I think the last one was significantly better than that one.
That was a much better flop than that one.
It was.
If we really are basing this off of sort of crowd rule, the ooh and the groan from that last one, which is a big part when I really think about it, just wasn't quite there.
I'm a big mob rule guy. Oh, there you go.
Nope. So that's exactly what I'd say we're looking to avoid.
So what I want to see is a guy reaching to grab the ankles. I need a guy to grab the ankles, go for the flying squirrel.
That was a 9, a 9, a 9, and a 9.5. Coach Troy being generous. I don't know about that last one there.
So we're upset. So we got the guy with a lot of mass here. He's gonna commit. He's doing it. He did go a little bit overboard leaning forward.
He tipped.
He's a little bit off balance.
That's the issue with the mass is, yes, you have to balance it with the actual balance. So it looks like we have a 7.5, a 7.5, 6.5, and a 7. That's almost generous for that. As unfortunate as it is, I'd like to see that guy in another round, but I don't know if we can. This is the same thing.
The
This
crowd
could have
looks
the
excited.
makings. Excited crowd. The excitement is palpable.
Oh, he's just going to fall forward. He's not even going to jump. Hands behind the
We
back.
think
He's
so?
falling.
Hands
He's
forward?
falling.
Wow.
Nice.
I heard that even with my headphones on.
That was a great flop. That was a really great flop.
So we have
You know, there was no quit there. No quit. Lean forward, didn't even care. Arms behind the back. I didn't even see it bend in the knees. Very nice flop right there.
9.5, 8, 8.5, 8.5.
You know,
If you compare that to the skinny guy who tensed up and got into a ball, that was a much better flop in my book.
I second that opinion. But another thing to be looking for is the redness on people's chests after they get out of the
He's
pool.
got a very red chest.
If you zoom in on Ryan O'Donnell, I think he is the reddest of chest. That might point to something that we didn't notice.
That's true. Let's see if we're going to get surprised here. This is a guy who doesn't seem to be belly flop contest.
You know?
But
That was all right.
he did it.
He did. He put the body on the line.
His leg tensed up a bit.
You know, I'm surprised that Miss Sabinski is being so generous. She isn't quite that way on calculus tests.
We have some pool floaty toys. I don't know what this is all
I don't know
about.
what's going on. Here. Nice.
That,
Great
that
flop.
was nice.
He got some air. He didn't quit. It landed right on the belly. That's what I'm looking for. He leaned back.
Really.
That was a nice flop.
If we're rating that as a traditional, so let's see, we have a 9, 9, 8.5, and a 9.
So it seems like anybody who gets a 9 is kind of ranking up in the top 5, and they're going to go on to the next round.
We think that that's how we're doing it. That seemed especially generous for the judging, though, in my book.
Yeah, I think they went with the 9 a little bit early. This looks like a faculty member.
Now coming up to the pool, it does look like a faculty member.
Not quite sure who that is. And then there's some faculty in water polo caps.
Interesting.
I'm mildly confused as to what's going on.
I don't know. His chest almost already looks red, doesn't it?
It does. This guy's trying to show the kids how it's done. Big millennial over here trying to show Generation Z.
Oh, he's getting nervous?
Oh. No, he had to count the steps. He's going to get a running start.
We think that it's that technical of a flop
Yeah.
coming.
Here we go. He
Oh,
leaned forward.
he did
too
it. He
much.
leaned forward. He had the
too much.
tip.
He lost the balance. You know, Ryan O'Donnell is getting extremely red in the breast area. Not quite on the belly, but on the breast.
You know what?
And as well as the skinnier lad second from the right, he's getting extremely red on the chest as well. That's a good pointer of how much impact happened on that belly area.
It's also
right?
taut skin, though.
That's true.
I think that that's almost more of a physical thing than a water impact thing.
Now, we don't know who this guy is, but allegedly the crowd does because we're starting to get a chant.
Well, maybe we'll find out his name if we. So I guess we want a round 2.
Seems like an intermission almost.
This does seem like an intermission. We've been given such limited insight into, I don't know, the proceedings of this event.
I actually have no idea what's about to occur.
No roster, holistics. This is purely holistic.
Yeah,
You're right, though, about that chest. That's a red chest.
It is.
What do you think they're going to do?
I have no idea, honestly. They're giving him
They
ping
are
pong
wearing
paddles.
water polo. Ping pong paddles?
Yeah. The lady third from the right, I think they're going to try to, they're racing. They're going to race.
Oh,
Okay.
that looks pretty funny.
With ping pong paddles. I mean, this almost seems like the prelims to the main event.
Who's in the pool? This is faculty members?
Well, several of them are women, so I'd assume that they're not students, right? You know, the lady with the floaty with the tail, the floaty's extra big and she has fairly small arms, so she's having a hard time reaching.
Yeah.
That's unfortunate.
Yeah, that was she really got the short end of the stick with
Yeah,
the
she
floaty assignment.
She really did.
So I guess that was a bit of an intermission.
Yeah, it seemed like an intermission. Okay.
Oh, here we go.
Well, he's diving. Oh! Is Mr. Meyercord going to flop? That would be cool.
That would be exciting.
Doesn't look like it though. Looks like he's just gonna race in the duck.
Oh,
the
we've got another little floaty race here. I don't know if I mean, other than comedic effect of the scorpion floaty or mermaid floaty just then. I don't know how into this whole floaty race I am.
Well, I mentioned at the beginning of the broadcast that the actual belly flop contest is my favorite Bellarmine event. It's the best thing that Bellarmine
It really
does, in my
is.
opinion.
It's so fun.
And so it may be that we're moving past the belly flop.
So Mr. Meyercord looking to be in 4th place.
I
don't know. He's our guy right now. We have a student. We have a student in the lead, racing to the finish, and he'll beat out the staff.
Well, Meyercord is also in the Swan upside down. So
yeah,
I think
he jumped into the pool and then had to get into the floaty.
He's really all over the place on that one.
That's unfortunate.
So we're back to flopping. This looks like
round
Little
2 of the
Pellerin.
flopping.
So Little Pellerin, note that he doesn't have much redness.
Chuck.
He got some air. Wow.
So that would have been a lot cooler if he hit parallel.
If his belly had been parallel to the water surface, that would have been quite the flop. That would have been the flop of the day. Couldn't quite land
I don't know how the judges just did with that. You forget. You'd think that this whole belly flopping thing is that simple, right? But the diving board is a factor. You have the natural aversion to hitting the water, right?
That's true,
You're avoiding it. And we also have the pressure.
Yep.
And then obviously now there's this whole thing about your head hitting.
Yep.
It's not easy.
I like the commitment there.
What was going on with the hands is my question.
So he was trying to put the hands over the head. Traditionally, the crazy way to do it, the crazy guy always grabs his ankles. I think he couldn't quite get there. Instead, put his hands over his head.
9.5, 9.5, 9.5. Sorry, by the way.
Hard disagree with those
really?
rankings. Yep. That was cool.
This is back to that was our leader coming out of the first round.
So here comes Ryan O'Donnell.
He's a judge favorite. They love that little get into the ball, flail, and then hit the water. But that won't come ahead of our last jump.
Here comes Ryan O'Donnell.
Mr. Red.
Big Red.
That was a great belly flop.
That was exceptional flop.
That was a great belly flop right there, folks. Wow. We have a 10.
It was the first 10 of the day.
Mrs. Slater has assigned her first 10 of the day. And a 10 from Coach Toy.
So there you go. So the swimmer, actually, who can kind of maneuver himself in the water, also maneuvering himself in the air to put himself in the perfect position to land that flop. I would have liked to see more air, maybe a running start.
That was your call. You really did point out the red chest. You said he's making good contact, and I didn't really see it until just then. That seemed like we had hands slicing into the water.
Yeah. The key to a great belly flop is keeping the chin back, and he ducked the chin a little bit, kind of put himself off balance. This guy's put on a cape.
We want to see a round 2 from this guy. Disappointed by the first round, but obviously he's here
ready to
dive another day. Captain America, a little bit of slippage. Uh-oh.
He couldn't quite land it.
That was, that was on an entertainment level. That was great.
That was awesome, but not quite the flop that you wanted.
The judges aren't fans. That wasn't his fault. You could have had a towel out there. I don't know.
Yeah, it was all right.
Well, he slipped.
It's true.
Eh.
I like that flop.
You like that?
I like
chest that much?
No, I didn't like the chest, but I did like the attempt to grab the ankles. Full defenseless. That's what I like.
Judges are a fan of that one, but I don't know if it'll come ahead of O'Donnell.
So we got another redder guy, scrawny guy.
This is where I blame the scrawniness for the redness. Uh-oh.
Okay, yeah, that wasn't a great flop. That wasn't a great flop.
Pretty generous with the scores this year.
Yeah. So this looks like a new guy.
It's
not wet.
A 7, a 7.
So it's interesting to see the strategies of each guy.
Wow. Oh. That was a grand setup.
It was. He got himself up there. He just kind of. I don't blame him. He wimped out, but I don't blame him.
9, 8.5.
Those are
9.5.
radically high ratings for that.
It's because of the jump. I mean, the first half of it was excellent, no? The first half of the the whole approach was excellent. He might actually be a diver, is what I'm thinking. Excellent. It was the hitting the water. He hesitated.
So we're on round 3 here. Is there going to be a winner today?
Yes. This is our top 3.
Okay. Okay.
So O'Donnell will start.
So I talked about this as an entertainment ordeal, and we're starting to get chance.
What?
Couldn't quite position. That's what I'm saying. You need some horizontal velocity. You need to get a little bit of a running start to have a great flop.
And he'll be done with a 5.
So
a
that
5.5, a 6.5, and a 6. You'd hope that our finalists will outperform that. That is tough. He had such a great. I liked the classic flop. It seemed like he almost had a round 2 maneuver planned, and it just fell short. No.
Yep. It's a big guy.
What are you thinking about this guy?
I'm thinking he puts the body on the line.
I'd hope so. Then he might be coming home with the glory on the Spirit Week 2019 in the lead up to the Holy Wars game against St. Francis tomorrow. A lot of bounce.
Oh.
Wow.
He just missed it. He just
didn't get wide enough.
I like the way that he loaded up the spring. Couldn't quite get it there. That's a bummer. You know.
What was that? 10, 9.5, 9.5, 9.5?
They're going exorbitant in.
The crowd didn't seem to agree.
Yeah, no. I'm telling you, this is a mob rule event.
Oh! I don't know about that.
Goodness.
I don't know about that.
Oh my
Wait,
goodness.
let's slow down.
Hold on.
Okay, as Mrs. Slater assigns that an 11.
I didn't see a flop there.
A 10, a 10, and a 10. I didn't see a flop there either.
I didn't see a flop.
What was that? I didn't see a flop. I question that in the immediate. Okay, let's be honest, right? Let's just be totally honest. He's all chill.
You know,
I think he's realizing that he just got away with murder, and the crowd isn't really behind it. Everybody will cheer when they flip. When you see somebody do a flip, flip is the coolest guy in the pool, right? I could never do a flip. Here's the issue. I don't think that ended in a belly flop.
That wasn't a flop.
And I don't think we're going to go back and watch the tape.
I think with the lack of instant review that we have, I think that wasn't a flop, but we got to give it to him. He's the winner.
We have the fans beginning to exit the rows because they don't understand. That wasn't a flop. It was just a flip.
It wasn't a flop.
Well, it was a flop of a winner, if that's the case,
Yeah.
in my opinion. I don't know. That's disappointing.
So this is the strange faculty member that we don't really know who he is.
I'll remember his name. I do recognize him.
I've surely met him.
It's unfortunate, but yeah.
His name probably starts with a B.
I like that.
Maybe Brad.
Oh, first name.
Oh,
He's just got the forward momentum.
That was just that wasn't even a belly flop. Now he's getting boos from the crowd.
You know what? This is a hard event.
You know, that's a tough pill to swallow. It is.
Okay, I think we should get our guy here. Can we
go get the winner?
Yeah, hey, can you go
Uh-oh.
Holy shit. Okay, he's gonna flip.
So I don't know what's going on here.
I'm confused as well. This looks like a really small guy, maybe a diver.
Maybe a diver. As the crowd's already begun to leave.
Everybody's sticking around, it looks like.
Everybody's sticking around. I
don't know what this
I
is
am
a
assuming
diver.
based off of the speedo, I'm going to assume diver.
Speedo, he's adjusting the spring.
Diver
on the
size.
Wow. Oh, here we go.
Wow.
Here we go.
Let's see how this goes.
Wow. Oh, my goodness.
Oh
my
goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, my goodness.
Wow.
That's why you don't give an 11 to the first flip you see. Somebody does 3 or 4 flips and ends in a belly flop.
Wow.
That was spectacular.
That was.
There's a reason why that guy came out of nowhere for the last round. That guy had that coming. He had that planned out, put his body on the line for sure.
So that has to be our winner.
That is our winner by far. Doesn't even matter that he didn't compete before. That's unbelievable.
He did 4 backflips.
That was redeeming.
That was unbelievable.
Do you think they hired him?
I don't know. But let me tell you, I'm on the swim team. The swim team needs a diver. That guy needs to try out.
He's probably
I mean,
involved in something. They just really brought in the cavalry just then, and they really saved that. That was a turnaround to an extreme degree, totally unexpected.
It came out of nowhere.
I don't even know what just happened.
I'm just confused. Who is that guy? We need that guy.
As we said, unfortunately, we don't have. He earned maybe a 12, an 11, a 15, and another 10 to offset that other one. But
that was
no.
awesome.
I mean, that was just bringing in the cavalry, right? Yeah, cavalry.
He didn't even
make
care.
sure I wasn't saying like Calgary, Canada.
That was epic. Under pressure, 4 backflips, landed straight on his belly.
That was unbelievable.
That was the craziest thing I've ever seen.
That was unbelievable. Okay, so he just talked to our guy Pearson.
Looks like our man's going to be making his way over here. Yeah! We like the enthusiasm. Yep.
Yeah, as our fans walk out. You know, everybody does get excited about this thing, and it's for a good reason. It's for a good reason. Because it really is a pure event. And that made that perhaps the most memorable one
of the last 4 years.
Of the last 4 years of our time here. Of course, I'm Nick Coker, and this is Joe Sandoval. Seniors, you know, graduating.
Yep.
Always fond of this event, but that was unbelievable.
That was one of the coolest things I've seen in a real long time. Here's our guy. He's getting up here.
You want to talk to him, or?
Either way, man.
Okay.
Well, why don't we get him in front of the camera?
Yeah, let's get him in front of the camera.
So we have the winner of our belly flop contest here. Just brought in the they called in the cavalry at the last second.
So
for personal glory.
Tell us who you are.
My name's Jack Clark.
Here, we're getting you mic'd. Oh
my God.
All right, who are you, man?
My name's Jack Clark, and I'm a diver.
You are a diver, so you're a freshman?
Yeah.
So you came on there late, right? Was there a reason that you didn't come in there the first few rounds through?
I was just debating whether to do it or not, and I didn't want to call attention to myself.
You didn't want to call attention. So you knew that you'd whoop all of them, and you decided that you didn't want to do them like that.
Yeah. And that was actually my first time, like, purposely smacking.
Wow.
So, yeah.
So you just went up there facing backwards, 4 backflips, and just landed straight on your belly?
Yeah, it was 1 3/4 to be exact.
One. Wow. So that was, let me tell you, that was the coolest thing I've ever seen. You came out of nowhere, straight from the back. They said, we have one more. You went up there, you did, how many backflips did you do?
1 3/4.
So how did you measure that? Because it looks like more.
Well, 1 1/2 is diving into your head.
Okay.
And then, so I went straight into my stomach.
Okay, so 1 3/4.
Yeah.
Okay, cool beans. So where'd you learn to do something like that?
I go to the Stanford Diving Club.
Okay. Cool.
Yeah.
So swim team potentially needs a diver. Are you going to be coming out?
I would love to.
Cool. You're invited. I believe Nick Coker has a few questions for you because that was honestly the coolest thing I've ever seen, man.
Okay, thanks.
I mean, if you didn't want to draw attention to yourself, we don't need to hound you. But that really was unbelievable. Okay, the guy who was winning at the end of that, before you came in, he did a flip, right? You saw this?
No, I was getting changed, and I was, like, kind of procrastinating whether to do it or not.
Got it, because you really couldn't decide until the very end.
Yeah.
Unbelievable. So he did a flip, and it didn't seem to end in a flop. It just seemed to be a flip and then into like a tuck type of thing, and then he hit the water.
So kind of like a messy front 1 1/2, I guess.
Sure.
Yeah.
Now, when you came out, nobody knew what to expect. You're not a big guy, right?
Yeah.
This is sort of, we associate the belly flop contest with the big guy, and then you go out and do something like that, so technical. I mean, that was unbelievable. So, that's all I wanted to say. Just compliments all around. Turn that whole thing around. Thank you.
No problem.
Congratulations. You've got glory. I mean, as a freshman, too, you know, first year and you already have a belly flop contest title under your belt.
Oh,
Right on. Yeah.
thank you.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay.
Well, I think we'll be signing off here.
That was one heck of a conclusion. We were believing that it was over, right? We thought it was done, and then our man over here just came out here, did however many freaking backflips he did, and landed right on his belly.
Unbelievable.
I'm
Unbelievable.
mind-blown.
We had, some confusing swan
Yep.
floaty races. We
Yep.
had some teachers whose names we didn't know.
Yep.
We had some good belly flops, some not so good belly flops, some red stomachs, some big stomachs, and I don't know. There's not much more you could ask for in a lunch period on a Bellarmine school day.
It's true. It's Bellarmine's best event. They kind of brought in the floaties. I was a little bit
It's
concerned.
a little weird with the floaties.
They started doing high ratings there at the end, kind of trying to
the whole time,
desperately
bring
bring a
it
great
up,
end.
and
then my man came over here, did
unbelievable.
It was bonkers.
I think that is the best possible mojo we could have going into tomorrow night's game against the Lancers, Holy Wars 2019.
Absolutely.
Hoping we could turn this one around in our last year at least.
Well, that is your broadcast of the belly flop competition. I am Joe Sandoval, class of 2020.
I'm Nick Coker, class of 2020. Go Bells, beat St. Francis, and we won't be seeing you next year, but the belly flop contest will remain.
It will prevail.
Thank you.
And go Bells.
Go Bells.